The front and rear cars of the TGV also undergo an outward transformation, since new levels of speed open a new field of concern. It's aerodynamics, or in short, drag. How can the previous speed record be broken when the design of the classic locomotives acts like a brake? Air resistance is catastrophic. Their front is worse than the wall. As it repels the air, it slows down the train. The result is a waste of electrical energy.
Air resistance is a predominant factor in energy consumption.
Better aerodynamics would allow power consumption to be reduced by 20%.
The aim is to prevent the air from impacting the shape you have in mind as much as possible.
The best examples of the time are the designs of cars. Their bodywork takes on new aerodynamic shapes. That's why Alstom, the builder of the future TGV, is going to call on the man who designed the latest Porsches.
And that is Jacques Cooper.
Cooper is going to transform the shape of the train. The point of the leading car is considerably lengthened. It's a revolution in railways, but an outright necessity so as not to be slowed down by the air mass.
When we swim, we fight against a mass, and we make efforts to move forward against that mass. With air, it's exactly the same. As soon as you advance, you create turbulence, and the effect of that turbulence is that it holds the object back.
Yet if the air can be better pierced by the front end of the train, it can still get caught between the cars, as was the case with previous trains. So how do you improve a train to break a speed record? What transformations must be applied so that the train can penetrate the opaque mass of air? You just have to imagine another revolution. And this one will concern the bogies, those massive carriages comprising the axles and the wheels under the cars carrying the passengers. They are relocated to fit between the carriages and are hooked up by a cylinder. As a result, the train now looks like one long tube. The air no longer has any points of attack. And this design also offers a huge advantage from a safety point of view.
Experience has shown that when a train derails, the cars stay firmly attached to each other, and this solidity prevents it from settling down.
When the bogies were spread out under the trains, it was enough for the head end of the train to derail, so that the following cars would take completely random paths. With the bogies between the cars, the train becomes a single unit, and the chances of them going completely off the rails are almost nil. Fewer bogies in the train also mean that its overall weight can be reduced by several tens of tons. But if the TGV is going to break all speed records, the driver too needs extra help.
In high-speed trains, the driver no longer has time to see the signals, so we had to invent another system.
On TGVs, sensors are placed in front of the first axle and constantly read the speed at which the train is allowed to travel. On today's high-speed lines, it's still this procedure that enables the driver to keep the authorized speed.
We have a safety system to alert the driver when he's going too fast, and if it doesn't get a reaction, it automatically activates a device that will stop the train.
All these innovations are in place to ensure a smooth attempt at the world speed record. On December 8, 1972, TGV 001 sets off on the same track as the previous trains. In the train, a wagon is filled with high tech that analyzes its performance in real time. While the engineers scrutinize the data on the train's behavior, all eyes are glued on the speed dial. "318 kilometers per hour, a promising start." If the helicopter turbine can be developed just a little more, the engineers think that they will reach the 420 kilometers per hour of the aerotrain. Their company now has a potential riposte to the craze generated by Jean Bertin's engine. Alas, this is 1973, a year of worldwide repercussions which will condemn the future of the aerotrain and the TGV 001. The oil crisis causes a worldwide upheaval. The price for a barrel of crude explodes. And the helicopter turbines in the aerotrain and the TGV are big fuel consumers.
So, in the end, this technique was a failure.
The TGV project, as well as the aerotrain, are shelved.
It killed the aerotrain, it killed my father. He died a few months later.
Yet during all these years, the aerotrain had made the conventional railroad seem like a thing of the past.